We have a new collection from my friends at Hunkdory. It's called Floral Dreams. And look, so we've got the toppers, we've got the 8x8, we've got all over foiling, and we have a beautiful cutting die. And let me just show you something. Here's one of Heidi's cards. It is a triple opening like that, plus you get the card inside. Okay, please come play with us. Well, as I said, this is Floral Dreams, but let me just show you what's in this collection. So we have the Floral Dreams Topper Collection, and you can make, I believe it is 16 cards is what they say. You do get all of these ideas in addition to the foiled topper sheets, the foiled adorable scoreable cardstock, and the printed adorable scoreable. Then we have this is foiling edge to edge, as you can see, meaning it goes all over the sheet. There are 16 sheets, 2 each of 4 designs across 8 different colors, so you can see that. I'm going to show you all of them, by the way. Then we have the Picture Perfect 8x8. This is a favorite of all of us, and I'm going to show you some of the pages because there are 48. You get 12 different pages, and you get 4 of each one. Then, and this is what we're going to start with, you get the Jar of Love. Now, this has 7 cutting dies. We're going to get in closer so that you can really see what's going on here, because Heidi has done something really kind of wonderful. Now, all the cards in today's webisode, as in most of our webisodes, measure 5 by 6.5. They come from our blank card set. You can use many different sizes, but this is what we like because it gives us a lot of room to create, and that's what we like. Now, Heidi's also used our gold cardstock. Now, this comes in sets of 3. They are 8.5 by 11, and you can see that she used this on the front of her card, just slightly smaller than the size of the card, and just glued it down. Then white cardstock is what she's going to need, and you can see that she has die cut out these hearts. She did 7 of them, and they are placed, these are at an angle, then in, and then kind of also at an angle with all the points going down. Then she foam taped a 7th one. Now, before she did all of that, she also used the gold ink pad and a blending brush, and then just ink the edges of the card, and everything that's white is what she has inked, so you can kind of see that. Now, the jar itself is quite a nice size, and what Heidi has done is she's done it out of white and then also out of gold, and she offset them. So I thought that was really interesting. I don't know that I've seen that done before. The other thing about this cutting die is it's got areas that are cut that you can lift. So when you glue these 2 pieces together, you don't want to glue down those lifted areas. And you don't need to lift them up on the gold one because that's going to be flat, but you do want to lift them up probably on the white area. I think that's really nice. You can also see that there is a label here. Well, that's part of the cutting die. She's also edged that with the ink pad. The hello is one of 2 greetings. There's hello, and I'll show you the other one in a minute. And then she did the flowers and the butterfly, you can see, also out of the gold, and they are just flat. And then to give it a little more shine, not that it really needs it, but how fun is that? She used the gold and silver shimmer sparkles. They are self-adhesive, come in gold and silver, as you can see, and just placed them in the center of the flowers, all 4 of the flowers. And then she used the bow maker to make a bow. You can see it at the bottom out of the white ribbon set. It's just an elegant look, and I hope you agree. Now, on the inside of her card, she did a couple of different things. Now, she did take a piece of white cardstock, and it's about 3 inches wide, and inked it on each edge, glued it in the center, and then did a smaller piece of the gold right there. Then she die cut 2 more of the hearts out of white, and 1 out of the gold. And the thank you is the second greeting that's also included. There's a lot of stuff in these 7 dies. And she has glued that to the gold heart and then foam taped it in place. Now, she did wrap a ribbon across this gold piece and then knotted a bow in place. She foam taped the 2 gold flowers and added the sparkles, and then has the little butterfly right there. Now, as though that wasn't enough sparkle, she wanted to add a bit more. So she used our gold thin line dazzles. There's just a ton on this sheet. And you can see she put 1 along the fold, and then 2 over here on the outer edge, a straight one and a decorative one. Now, these are all 3 different designs, but you don't notice that. They look just great. So isn't that pretty? And I like the fact that Heidi did something totally different than the sample on the package, because then you get to see that. Looks like those were inked or colored with markers, and so you get a totally different look. I like all the layering that she did with those cutting dies, so that's kind of neat. Okay, so this is the only project I have with the Jar Full of Love, and so now we're going to move into the 8x8. Okay. Let me show you what's done with that. So this is the card that Heidi has done. Okay, here is the sheet out of the 8x8, and as you can see, there's lots of pieces of art on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 greetings. Also, the back is patterned, so that's nice. Now, what Heidi did, she turned her 5x6.5-inch card on its side with the fold at the top, and use the back of this to cover her card front. And you know how to do that. You're just going to put your glue or your tape on the whole piece, position this along the edge, along the fold and one edge, press it down, turn it over, and trim to fit. Okay, so that's going to be one area. Then she's going to use this piece on the front of her card. So she just trimmed it right along the edge of it, and it's going to be shorter, so it's going to be 6.5 rather than 8 inches. Okay, now she wanted to go into the foiled edge-to-edge piece. So this is the ivory. Now I will show you at the end all of the pieces that are in this collection. So she matted this onto that ivory piece, but if you'll notice on her card, as I hold it straight, there it is slightly angled down on this side and up on this side. You can do that or you can not, but I thought it was an interesting technique that Heidi did. Now she also added a piece of 1/8 inch wide ribbon, and here's the collection of 1/8 inch ribbons, and wrapped it around. I like this little technique where she took 2 smaller pieces and knotted them on the ribbon. I think that adds a nice little decorative piece. Now this piece was then foam taped onto her card. The many happy returns, it's right here. She simply cut it straight and then matted it onto the ivory and did it at an angle. There is another little bow. Now for her bows, as you know, Heidi uses the bow maker from Hunkdory. You can use that or not, but I know it's been a game changer for a lot of folks. Okay, so that's the front of our card. And we're going to go, did I tell you about the brown buttons? I don't think I did. Okay, let me show you this. This is the vintage brown adhesive dots, and you can see it goes from light tan over to dark brown. So she's used them on the wheels, she's used them on above the happy returns. Now we're going to go to the inside of the card, and here she's going to use more of that ivory foiled. That pretty piece covered the inside of her card. Then she did a strip on the back side here. Again, you get 4 sheets of these, and glued that in place. And she also did a ribbon across that. Now, the hot air balloon is on the same sheet. She has foam taped it and added those pearls at the side on your anniversary as part of this art. So she simply did it straight. Didn't do the lace at the top, and then matted it on the ivory and glued it here and foam taped it there, and then went back and dotted a little bow right on the corner. So that is our second card. Now this has got many happy returns on your anniversary. Excuse me. you can tell that this card would be useful for a lot of occasions. So birthdays, thinking of you, just lots of things. And in the 8x8, there are a lot of greetings. So plus, you know, we can always go with our favorite, which is dazzles or stamping. Okay, now we'll go to our next card. And this has a very fun look to it. And here we go. Again, our card has the fold at the top, and you can see it's got a window. So that's neat, or an aperture, as they say. So what she first did is she trimmed 3/4 of an inch off of each side, cutting it right to the fold, and then you've got this piece. Now, you want to cover this piece, and what Heidi used is, get this out. This is out of the Topper collection, and it's the one with the camera, and this is foiled, you can see. So this is the part that she used. Now you want to cover that first before we do the die cutting. That way you're doing it in one fell swoop. Now this is pretty heavy cardstock, as you can tell. You may want to run it through your die cutting machine a couple of times just to make sure. I don't think Heidi had any problem, but I just want to take care of you. So first glue that down, and then we're going to go to our tried and true favorite of our nested dies. This is obviously the circles and scallop. So she has used the round one and placed it in the center and then ran it through the die cutting machine. Now, because this is 6.5 inches, if you don't have a larger die cutting machine and you only have one that has a 6-inch mouth, then simply have your die cutting there and then run it through like this, okay, and then open it up. So that'll take care of you. You can do this with any machine. Okay, so that is our circle. Then let me show you with the Topper collection that she used. So this one has, called Teal Treasures, up in the corner. It's got a gramophone, it's got a typewriter, which I love. It's got an old camera, just really, really nice. Okay, so what she has done is she has taken the circle from the camera. In fact, she's going to use all 3 of these dies. So the gold piece is going to go right next to the opening. Then this piece is foam taped on top, okay? So that's what we're going to do with our top. Then we're going to take, this has got the camera and the well done. Those are foam taped. She's gone into our brown ribbon set, which is rich and chocolatey, and used the bow maker to make a bow and to zot it right there. Now, let's go to the inside of our card. And Heidi did something interesting here. So this is the cardstock that she used. This is the Adorable Scoreable, but I'm going to turn it this way so you can see this lacy edge. Now, her lacy corner is shorter. It's narrower than this big piece. So what she did is she cut 1 3/4 inches off. So just trimmed that, and then it will fit. So you can then glue it to finish the inside of your card. Now, if it bothers you about trimming that piece off, you can use the whole piece without trimming it. It's just that this edge is going to be up higher on the inside of your card. So it's your choice, as always. Now, what's going to go here? Well, it's going to be that center piece. Now, you do want to make sure that it's going to be positioned within that opening. So want to make sure that that's going to happen before you secure it down. Now, the other thing that she's done is she's got 2 pieces here. This foiled says happy birthday. It's flat. This one is foam taped, but notice what she's done, a clever woman, is she's made sure that they're hidden when that card is closed. And that's what you want to make sure that you're doing. It's kind of like you don't want your slip showing, okay? So you want to make sure it's closed, what's covered when this is closed, okay? And more little ribbon, little knotted, and then also those brown pearls are, you can see the 3 colors are there on each side, and it just makes it look a little snazzier when it's closed, or when it's closed as well as when it's open. So you can see that really nice. Okay, I have one more card for you, and it's the one that I showed you in the opening. And this card has 3 fronts and an inside. Okay, so let me show you how Heidi did that. I'm going to start with the base. The base is our standard card, 5 by 6.5, you know that. Then the center flap is this. It is 5.5 inches by 4 3/4. And you'll use something to score it. Now Heidi used the adorable scoreboard, which is just so easy. You just tuck that right in, use the attached bone folder, and just slide it to the 1/2 inch mark. The 1/2 inch is a nice amount on a flap because it gives you enough to really work with. Okay, this then is going to be, you're going to remove the tape and attach it to the front of the card. It doesn't wrap around, it's just going to be flat. Now that exposed little piece right there is going to be covered up, so not to worry. Okay, so that is our first move. Our second move is 5.5 inches, of course, and 4 inches tall. This time you're going to score it, but this time that extra sticky tape that we used on the other piece and on this piece is going to go on the back side. Okay, then this will wrap behind that middle piece, and same thing, you want to make sure that it is even at the bottom so that everything is snug and works. Okay, so that's the three layers. Now what Heidi did on her first layer, and let me just lay it out like that so you can see it. This is the 4 inch by 5.5 inches. You can do that as a straight piece, but our clever Heidi did it differently. So she used this piece of the printed adorable scoreable in the Topper collection. You can see that she cut straight around this little bouquet and then went straight over for her 5.5 inches. Scored it, and that is going to become her first layer. Okay, so I thought that was clever. Now I'm going to go to the back piece right now, just to show you that. So this is our second piece of the foiled edge-to-edge cardstock, and it's kind of this tufted look, and so she put glue or tape on the front of her card, positioned this, and trimmed it to fit. So that's going to be that base. Then I'm going to go here, and this orange that she wanted, this is on the cross foiled piece. She wanted this light orange color. So again, she just glued or taped it to become this section, okay? And that just worked nicely. Now you can use this piece and cut it to that 5.5 by 4 3/4, or you can do a piece of white cardstock. This is so sturdy, I think it's really good just to use this, so that would work nicely. Now, in this one, in fact, let me show you the topper sheet that Heidi used. And here it is. Okay, so on this one, it is called Apricot Dreams. Isn't that a nice title? So you can see the books, there's cross, you have teacups, and some greetings, as well as a border. So what Heidi has done is that she noticed that all 3 of these are the same shape. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. In this case, they are, which means that this can go inside here, this can go over that. It's just all kind of mix and match. Let me tell you how that plays out. So what Heidi did is she used the outside piece of the cross and glued it here. Now it's a 1/2 inch from the top. It is centered side to side and it's glued flat, okay? Then when she went to put this, she wanted the teacups. Now the teacups are right here, and they are 1/2 inch above this edge. You can see that right there. And visually, it's going to nest right inside of that larger frame behind it. Now Heidi did kind of bow it a little bit, so you can do that if you like. Put foam tape in the middle. She did the same thing with the Get Well Wishes. And this side piece, which is really nice and decorative, is a cut piece of the border. So that was foam taped on each side. More ribbons out of the brown ribbon set, which I believe I showed you, right? Okay, and those are in place. And then finally, well, not almost finally, this is the books, and that is just glued flat. As I said, there's ribbons, there's knotted ribbons, and there's bows on several of them, a bow, knotted ribbon. This little curved piece is also right here. It's got the letters, so that's nice. And she's also added the sparkles. And so this is out of the sparkles that we showed you earlier. That is the brown, vintage brown, I think. Actually, I think I lied. I think this is the gold and silver. Aha, there you go. So in the center of the flowers, just at the tops and bottoms of these die cuts, and then on the corners of that piece. Now that's the front of the card. We're not done. On the inside, okay, Heidi's done something clever here also. So this piece, remember you used on the front and cut around? Well, you've got all of this left. So what she did, and I have to tell you, this was a little puzzling to me because this shows the brown wood top and bottom, but here they're 8.5 inches apart. So what she did is she cut it 5 inches and then cut this and glued a 4-inch piece at the bottom and a 2-inch piece at the top, and then put a ribbon over the edge or where they meet. I thought that was very clever. So that worked well. And this is out of the 1/8-inch ribbon set. Excuse me. Okay, now to finish this off, let me go back. And here is our topper set. So she has this frame. You can see it's got the wood on it. And then she used the books in the center of it. So that worked perfectly. Thinking of You is foam taped, more of the bows and knotted ribbon and more of the sparkles top and bottom. That is our last card. Really, really fun. And I think this is a technique, obviously, that you can use lots of places, and I'm sure you will. Clever you. Okay, to recap. Oh, wait a minute. I meant to tell you. Here are the other patterns in the edge-to-edge cardstock, or foil cardstock. So we've got wood. We've got another of that kind of puffy-looking one, another of the stars, and then 2 more of flowers. So that foiling is all over. Lots of designs in the Picture Perfect. You can see them online. So this is our Floral Dreams. We want to back up so you can see that. And we also have the Floral Dreams foiled edge-to-edge cardstock, our 8x8, which was very fun and creative, as well as that very attractive and useful jar full of love cutting die. All of this is in a money saver. You know it's on the right side of the screen. All of her cards, Heidi has written directions for you. They're down below. Just tap on the card. It will take you. The directions will also be on the right side of your screen, and a list of materials you'll see down below. If you are watching us on YouTube, we hope that you will like us. We hope you will give me a comment. Tell me what you think. I think this is just a very fun collection, and please, we hope you'll subscribe. Then head on over to paperwishes.com. Take advantage of the money saver, see the directions, and take a look at all these products that we have for you. Want to thank you for joining us. Thank Heidi for doing a wonderful creative job. We appreciate it. And want to thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. We'll see you next time.